The office was silent except for the tapping sound of CEO Jungkook's fingers on the table. His sharp eyes were fixed on the laptop screen. His black suit was neat, his hair perfectly styled. He looked calm outside, but his aura was cold and powerful. His secretary stood beside him, speaking softly. Sir, the final report of the project is ready. Also, the new project manager is joining today. Jungkook didn't look up. Where is the new manager? She should be here any moment, sir. Just then a soft voice came from the door. May I come in, sir? Jungkook's hand froze. That voice. It hit him like thunder. He had heard that voice 1,000 times in his past, in memories has buried deep. He slowly looked up and said, Come in. The door opened, and there you were. You walked in holding your file, dressed smartly in a formal outfit. You looked professional, confident, but your heart was racing. Jungkook stared at you with wide eyes. His hand slowly reached to remove his glasses as if he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Wine? The girl who broke his heart 5 years ago, your eyes met his, and for a second time, it stopped. Your breath caught in your throat. No, it can't be him. But it was Jungkook, the boy you once loved with all your heart. Suddenly, flashes of the past rushed through your mind. You laughing in the library together, you whispering I love you during a late night walk, and finally that rainy evening. Sir, the secretary spoke, breaking the silence. You and Jungkook quickly looked away from each other like strangers. This is Ryan, the secretary introduced. She's the new project manager for the upcoming campaign. Jungkook straightened up. His cold CEO mask was back. He didn't show any emotion now. Nice to meet you, he said dryly. You nodded politely, also pretending. Nice to meet you too, sir. There was pain in both your hands, but you both acted like you had never met before. Show her the cabin and the team. Jungkook told the secretary without looking at you again. Thank you said softly and followed the secretary out of the office. As soon as the door closed, Jungkook leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling. His mind drifted to that day, and it was 5 years ago. It was raining heavily. Jungkook stood in the rain, so confused and heartbroken. You were standing in front of him, crying silently. Why are you breaking up with me, Ryan? He asked, voice shaking. I love you. You looked away. I don't feel the same anymore. Don't lie. Jungkook stepped closer. We have been together for 4 years. You can't throw it away like this. You forced a cold voice. I don't see any future with you. I'm sorry. And you turned away tears hidden by the rain. Jungkook stood still, fist clenched. The girl he planned his whole life with walked away in 4 minutes. From that day he changed. Back in the office, Jungkook rubbed his face roughly. Why now? He whispered. Why are you here again? Why? Meanwhile, you walked into your cabin, forcing a smile. Your heart was still beating fast. You opened your phone and saw a picture, a little boy with bunny teeth and sparkling eyes. Your son, you looked out the window. He doesn't know you exist. You whispered to the picture. Tears filled your eyes, but you wiped them quickly. I won't let him know you're here. I won't let him take you away from me. You turned back to your desk, ready to face the next challenge. But little did you know, fate had other plans. After lunch, you were back in your cabin, organizing files and checking emails. Your hands were working, but your mind was still cloudy from the morning meeting from him. You didn't expect to see Jungkook again, not like this. And now, acting like strangers, after once sharing everything felt like a strange nightmare. Just then your office landline rang. "Miss Vine," said the secretary, "CEO John wants to see you in his cabin." You stood up nervously, fixed your blazer, and walked to his cabin. As you entered, he was standing near the large glass window, staring out. He turned around slowly. His cold eyes met yours. He said plainly. You obeyed, sitting across from him with your hands on your lap. "How is work?" he asked in a very formal tone. You nodded. "It's good so far, sir. I'm just trying to understand the team and the ongoing projects." He folded his arms. "Good. I'm giving you one task. It's urgent. I need the presentation draft of the new marketing strategy completed within 1 hour." You blinked. "1 hour, sir?" "Yes, that's all the time you have. I want to see how fast and efficient you are." You didn't argue. "Okay, sir." You stood up and walked out, returning to your cabin. You opened your laptop and began working on the presentation, gathering data, organizing slides, and typing with focus. You were halfway through when your phone rang. It was from your son's school. You quickly answered, your heart already racing. "Hello?" "Hello, Mom. I'm calling from Little Oak International School. Your son Jungsoo has a fever. He looks weak and has been asking for you." You froze. "Fever?" "Yes. He's in the school's medical room. We try to bring the temperature down, but he keeps crying and asking for you." "Can I see him?" "Video call, please." "Of course." Within seconds, your phone screen showed your son lying down, his cheeks red from the fever. Tears rolled down his face. "Mommy," he cried softly, "come fast." Your eyes filled with panic. "I'm coming, baby. Just stay strong, okay? Don't cry." After the call ended, you immediately got up and rushed to Jungkook's cabin. You didn't knock, you just opened the door in a hurry. Jungkook was still looking at some papers. He looked up, surprised at your sudden entrance. "I need a day off," you said, breathless. He raised an eyebrow. "What?" "I need to leave now, sir. It's urgent." His voice turned colder. "What kind of emergency?" You hesitated and then spoke the truth. "My son, he's sick. He has a fever and he's crying for me. I need to go to his school." Jungkook's face turned blank. He blinked, then his lips moved slowly. "Your son?" You nodded, swallowing hard. "Yes, I'm really sorry, but I have to." Jungkook stood up sharply from his chair. His voice rose. "You have a son." You flinched. "Yes." The air in the room grew thick. Jungkook's jaw tightened. His eyes flamed with disbelief and confusion. He pointed at you. "First day at work, and you're already asking for leave?" "I wouldn't have if it wasn't just serious." He cut you off. "What kind of employee are you? Unprofessional, careless. First day, and you're running out like this." You looked down, holding back tears. "I'm really sorry, sir, but he's just a child. I'm the only one he has." Jungkook's blood boiled. "You're the only one he has. Where is the father?" "Sir really did move on with another man? Was that the reason you broke up with me?" He banged his hand on the table. Suddenly you jumped. "Just leave," he growled, looking away. You nodded quickly and left the room with teary eyes. The door shut behind you. Jungkook stood still. His heart was racing. She has a son? He sat down slowly in his chair, still shocked. Then the pain started coming back. You lied to him. You left him in the rain 4 years ago. You told him you didn't love him anymore. He covered his face with both hands. Then he stood again and walked to the window. Why? He whispered to himself. Then the anger kicked in. He threw the pen on the table. She broke up with me because of another man, didn't she? He punched the desk hard. She cheated on me. He paced the room, clenching his fist. 4 years of love. All fake? He remembered your soft smell, how you cried the day you walked away. But now it all looked like a lie. She has a son with someone else, and she's acting like nothing happened. He looked at the glass of water beside him, breathing heavily. This is why she said she didn't see a future with me. He shook his head in frustration. Why does it still hurt like hell? After leaving the office in a rush, you booked a cab and headed straight to Jungkook's school. The entire way, your heart pounded with fear. You entered the school building and ran to the medical room. There he was, lying on the small bed, eyes half open, face pale, holding a small teddy in one hand. Jungsoo, you whispered and rushed to him. Mama, he said weakly, opening his arms. You bent down and hugged him tightly. I'm here, baby. Let's go to the doctor, okay? He nodded slowly. You lifted him in your arms and kissed his forehead. He was burning up. You immediately got into another cab and took him to the nearby hospital. After a checkup, the doctor gave medicines and said, Don't worry, it's a viral fever. He just needs rest and proper care. You thanked the doctor and took Jungsoo home. You made him lie on the bed, gave him medicine, and wiped his sweat with a soft cloth. You stayed beside him all night, stroking his hair, singing lullabies softly. That night neither you nor Jungkook slept. At Jungkook's bedroom in his house, he lay on his large bed, staring at the ceiling. She moved on, had a child with someone else. He turned on his side, frustrated. Why am I even thinking about her? But his thoughts wouldn't stop. The girl he gave his heart to had a son, and it wasn't his. He groaned, ran his hand through his hair and sat up. Why did she even come back? Why is she working here? To show me how happy she is now? He slammed his fist on the bed in frustration. Next morning, you had already applied for a day's leave last night. You were planning to rest and take care of Jungsoo, but at 8:30 a.m., your phone rang. Hello, you answered sleepily. Miss Wan, the secretary said there is an urgent meeting at 10 a.m. CEO John has cancelled your leave. Your heart dropped. What? But I... Sorry, ma'am, his orders are final. You looked at Jungsoo, still sleeping with a soft snore. You quickly called the nanny who usually comes every evening. I'm so sorry, ma'am, she said. I can't come today. My husband is very sick. You had no other choice. You dressed Jungsoo in warm clothes and wrapped a small blanket around him. He was a bit better than yesterday. His fever had calmed down. You reached the office and went straight to the receptionist. Hi, do we have any medical room for kid here? You asked politely. Not really, but we have a resting room for employees. You can use that for a while. As you were talking, Jungsoo quietly walked toward the shiny vase in the receptionist area. His eyes were curious. He touched it gently and it wobbled. The vase fell and shattered into pieces. Everyone turned. Just then Jungkook entered the reception. His sharp eyes noticed the broken vase, then the little boy. What the hell? He walked towards Jungsoo and shouted, Are you out of your mind? How can you touch that? This is not a playground. Jungsoo got scared, tears welled up in his eyes, and he ran back towards you. Mama, he cried and hugged your leg tightly. Jungkook's eyes widened. He slowly took off his glasses, his heart thudding. He bent down to hug Jungsoo and whispered, It's okay, baby, don't cry. Jungkook finally understood. This is your son? He asked coldly. He stood up straight and faced him, yes. He let out a dry laugh. Wow, I didn't know you were this desperate to move on and have a child with someone else. His words pierced your heart like a knife, but you didn't let your emotions show. You kept calm. Can Jungsoo stay with me today? He is not well, and I had no one to take care of him at home. Jungkook was about to refuse. His lips parted. He's still weak. You added softly, looking down at Jungsoo, who sniffled and hugged you. Jungkook looked at the little boy's face again. The child looked up, scared. For a moment, Jungkook's heart melted. There was something about those eyes, something familiar. He sighed. Fine, but make sure he doesn't touch anything again. You nodded. Thank you. Jungkook walked away quickly, clearly upset. Afternoon work was going on as usual. You had fed Jungsoo some porridge and he was feeling better. He now sat on a chair inside your cabin, playing with a small toy. You went to the office bathroom nearby, reminding him not to move. But minutes later, Jungsoo felt sleepy. He leaned against the chair, his head nodding, slowly losing balance. Just outside your cabin, Jungkook was walking by, scanning through a file. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed something, a child slipping off the chair. He rushed in without thinking. Hey, he called and quickly held Jungsoo before he fell. He gently placed the boy back, fixing the pillow behind his back. Jungsoo was already asleep, breathing softly. Jungkook stood still, just staring at him, the small hands, the soft cheeks, the lips. He knelt down slowly and just looked at him. Something about the boy felt warm, close, almost like. Before he could think more, he walked in and stopped. You were shocked. Jungkook? He stood up quickly and snapped. Is this how you take care of your child? You were speechless. He shouted again. He could have fallen, hit his head. What were you doing? I just went to the bathroom. Do you need me to teach you how to be a parent? He barked. You lowered your eyes. I'm sorry. He paused and took a deep breath. I'll send a small bed here. Put him on that. At least he won't fall again. You were surprised. You will? He turned to leave annoyed. Then you suddenly asked, How many kids do you have, Jungkook? He turned, eyes narrowed. Are you joking right now? I'm serious. He scoffed. I don't have time to have fun with you. With that, he walked away. You frowned, confused at his answer. An hour later, a worker came into our cabin with a small, soft, foldable bed. Sir John asked us to deliver this for your child. Your heart softened. You set it up near your table and carefully placed Jungsoo on it. You sat down beside him and looked at him sleeping peacefully. Then your eyes shifted to the CEO's cabin. You whispered to yourself, You don't know it, Jungkook, but one day you will. I'm scared how you would react. It had been a full week since the day Jungkook saw Jungsoo in your cabin. Since then, Jungkook had started being cold, silent, and distant. But he didn't shout at you like before. He didn't say anything harsh. Still, you could feel he was irritated. He would ask questions in a cold tone. He would walk away while you were still talking, but he didn't yell. You understood he was confused, angry, hurt, but he didn't know the full truth yet. One afternoon, you were in Jungkook's office looking for an important project file. He had asked you to find it in the bottom drawer of his table. You bent down, opening the drawer and searching through the folders just then the door opened. Jungkook, where are you? What are you doing down there? Came a sharp voice. You quickly stood up and your eyes widened in shock. Wine, she said, just as stunned. You took a step back. You? She adjusted her designer glasses. Her hair was neatly tied up, her clothes expensive and perfect. What are you doing here? She asked coldly. You are still frozen in place. You are alive? Her eyes narrowed. Of course I'm alive. What kind of question is that? But you said you were in last stage. You said you were dying. She smiled. Oh, that? You looked at her in disbelief. So it was a lie? Yes. She straightened her shawl and calmly said, I had to separate you and Jungkook. You didn't match our status. You were just a normal middle class girl. Why would I let my son marry someone like you? Tears welled up in your eyes. You made me break up with him. You made me lie to him. You promised me you would marry him to your best friend's daughter. And I did, she said proudly, for his good. Your voice cracked. So you tricked us. I thought you were dying. You gave him up because I thought I was helping your last wish. She crossed her arms and said coldly, it was your mistake to believe me. Girls like you should know their place. Your lips trembled. Then that means Jungsoo is Jungkook's only. You stopped. Your eyes shifted. Someone was standing behind her. It was Jungkook. His face was pale, his eyes were teary and red, his lips parted. He heard what his mother and you said, Jungsoo? He asked, his voice shaking. Who is Jungsoo Ryan? You looked down silent. He walked towards you, his steps heavy, his heart louder than his footsteps. He stood close to you now. You said, he is our son? You slowly nodded. His mother gasped. What? Jungkook's body froze. Why didn't you tell me this? Tears fell from your eyes. After you and I broke up, I found out I was pregnant. I came to your house to tell you. You looked at his mother, but the security told me everyone had gone to the wedding venue, that your wedding had already happened. Jungkook looked furious now. You continued. I had no one else, so I decided to raise him on my own. My mom supported me, but she passed away when Jungsoo was 2 years old. Jungkook said, I walked out of the wedding and went to abroad that day while I didn't marry anyone else. You were shocked. Jungkook turned to his mother, his voice loud and full of pain. You did all this. His mother stuttered. I was thinking for your good. For my good, you took away the women I loved. You hid my son from me. He shouted. You cried silently. Jungkook turned to you, holding your shoulders gently. I'm so sorry, Vine. I should have come after you. I should have found out the truth. You shook your head. No, I'm sorry. I should have told you earlier. He smiled through his tears. Let's not waste more time. I want to meet Jungsoo, my boy. You both walked out of the office, and just as the elevator opened, there was Jungsoo sitting on the reception couch with his small backpack. The nanny was sitting beside him. As soon as Jungkook saw him, something inside him broke. He rushed forward, bent down, and hugged the boy tightly. Jungsoo, he whispered, I'm your appa. The boy looked confused. He turned to you. You smiled through your tears. Yes, baby, he is your appa. Jungkook smiled shyly. Appa. Jungkook nodded with tears in his eyes. Yes, baby, can you call me that? Appa. Jungsoo whispered and hugged him tight. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears, and he remembered shouting at his own son how he was feeling guilty for being harsh on him that day. I'm so sorry, Jungsoo. I shouted at you that day. I will never shout at you again. It's okay, Appa. Don't feel bad. I'm happy that I met you. Jungkook looked at you for raising him well, and he was proud of his son and kissed Jungsoo so much. That moment was everything for him. A few weeks later, you were standing in a white wedding dress. Jungsoo held your hand and smiled brightly. He was now the happiest child in the world. Jungkook stood in front of you in a black tuxedo, his eyes full of love. The priest smiled. Please exchange your vows. Jungkook held your hands. I lost you once, but I promise I will never let you go again. You and our son are my everything now. He smiled and said, I waited 5 years for this. You are my home, Jungkook. He slid the ring on your finger. You slid his. Then both of you turned to Jungsoo, leaned down, and kissed his cheeks. At the same time, the small boy giggled happily and clapped his hands. And with that, you both, along with Jungsoo, walked away. Your new beginning as a family started with love, with truth, and with your little family finally together. Thank you for watching.